If you are fortunate enough to have grandparents around, it is not uncommon to see them struggle with memorization and remembering. When probing further, they often dismiss this as being old. Indeed, forgetfulness is an inevitable characteristic of normal aging. Besides, elderly may also experience modest reductions in vocabulary and slower learning as part of the normal aging process. But when does forgetfulness become dementia? Together, let's learn about memory's rubber in this episode of Doctor's podcast. It's not easy to detect dementia at its early stage, as most family members view the dementia symptoms as normal aging and do not seek any medical diagnosis. The nuance of normal aging as opposed to dementia lies in the following. Firstly, the elderly are still able to maintain function through aids, such as calendars or lists, and adaptations of one's environment and expectations. Secondly, there is a very long time scale of decline, typically 10 to 30 years. In contrast, in dementia, the decline in cognitive function happens quickly, usually within a few months to years. It was as if the elderly disappear bit by bit every day. Thirdly, normal aging involves relative decline. That is, the decline makes sense if compared with peers who do not have diseases. In other words, dementia is an acquired decline in memory and other cognitive functions in an otherwise alert person, which often severely affects his or her daily life. The prevalence of dementia increases with age. 1% of 60 to 65 years old, more than 30% of over 85 years old. Worldwide, around 50 million people have dementia, with nearly 60% living in low and middle income countries. Every year, there are nearly 10 million new cases. The total number of people with dementia is projected to reach 82 million in 2030 and 152 million in 2050. Much of this increase is attributable to the rising numbers of people with dementia living in low and middle income countries. In a sense, dementia is collateral damage from one of humanity's triumphs, increased lifespans. All forms of dementia become more prevalent in old age, and so will become more widespread as life expectancy rises. It is worth noting that dementia is a syndrome, which is a collection of signs and symptoms. Under the umbrella of dementia, there are more specific diagnoses such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and vascular dementia. Dementia can also be confused with another condition called delirium. The doctor would carry out the necessary examination to make an accurate diagnosis. Let's talk about Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia. What is insidious about Alzheimer's disease is that it can happen very slowly, usually over a few years. It involves early, profound short-term memory loss that worsens to broader cognitive impairment. Elderly people suffering from Alzheimer's disease also have behavioral problems, such as aggression, anger, anxiety, and agitation. Vascular dementia is the next most common cause. The reason it is termed as vascular is because the risk of this type of dementia is increased by vascular diseases such as diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and smoking. The onset of vascular dementia is often associated with stroke. Note that many times, Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia do overlap. Another cause of dementia is Parkinson's disease. Elderly people with Parkinson's disease demonstrate more obvious movement problems than cognitive issues. Parkinson's disease often leads to shaking, stiffness, difficulty in walking, balancing, and coordination. Patients with Parkinson's disease do not necessarily have dementia, but they are at a greater risk compared to those who do not have Parkinson's disease. Dementia is most likely to happen to Parkinson's disease patients at a later stage of disease, and in those who tend to become confused on Parkinson's medications. If you have any loved ones who are diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, you are encouraged to discuss the side effects of medications with your healthcare professional, as some of them may worsen the progression of Parkinson's disease and require clinical adjustment. Okay, that all sounds gloomy and bad. Is there anything we can do about dementia? Sadly, there is no treatment currently available to cure dementia or to alter its progressive course, and even the most hopeful new therapies will have only a mild impact. However, much can be offered to support and improve the lives of people with dementia and their carers and families. If people with dementia also have conditions such as depression, alcohol abuse, thyroid problems, and vitamin deficiencies, managing them well may improve the thinking and memory problems. You are encouraged to discuss with a healthcare professional on how to manage these conditions. If the elderly has multiple diseases and is taking many types of medications, talk to the pharmacist and explore the potential side effects. Some medications, such as antipsychotics or medications for Parkinson's disease, may actually worsen confusion and should be managed by a healthcare professional. Prevention is better than cure. The following have been proven to reduce the risk of dementia. Number 1. Be physically active. Even 10 minutes at a time is good for you, and try to avoid sitting down for too long. Each week, you should aim for either 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity, such as brisk walking, riding a bike, or pushing a lawnmower, or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity, such as jogging, fast swimming, or riding a bike up a hill. Number 2. Eat healthily by adopting a balanced diet. Number 3. Quit smoking if you smoke. You may consult a healthcare professional about different ways you can adopt quit smoking. Nicotine replacement therapy has been offered to many smokers to stop smoking. Number 4. Avoid drinking too much alcohol, as too much alcohol increases risk of alcohol-related brain damage. You should aim to drink no more than 14 units each week. If you drink as many as 14 units in a week, try to spread them out over at least 3 days. For your information, 1 unit of 4% beer is equivalent to 250 ml, and 1 unit of 13% wine is equivalent to 76 ml. Number 5. Keep your mind active by reading challenging books or writing. Study for a qualification course, learning a new language, playing board games, and others. Here's the end of this week's podcast episode. This podcast only serves as an educational purpose and should not supersede any healthcare professional's opinion. Till then, stay safe and healthy. If you have any medical inquiries, download Doc2Us app today and start consulting our online doctor. Doc2Us, your personal pocket doctor.